Stop overthinking. Start flowing. The Ku no Sekai principle ***. There is a moment before the blade moves. Not the strike. Not the impact. But the silence before intention hardens into action. Most people never reach this moment. They drown before it arrives. They think. They calculate. They hesitate. They replay imagined futures until the present slips through their fingers. And so I ask you, quietly, without force. If your enemy were standing before you right now, would you still be thinking? Or would you move? This is where your life is decided. Not in effort. Not in desire. But in whether your mind is full. Or empty. This is the gate to Ku no Sekai, the world of emptiness. And you have been standing outside it your entire life. The inner battlefield of the modern world. You live in an age louder than any battlefield the samurai ever knew. Your mind is attacked constantly. By information, by opinion, by comparison, by imagined futures that never arrive. You are not tired because you work too hard. You are tired because your mind never stops moving. The samurai understood something modern men and women have forgotten. The greatest battlefield is not outside you, it is within. They did not call it stress. They called it disorder of spirit. A distracted mind is a defeated mind. A mind that argues with itself is already wounded. Today, people overthink their purpose, their relationships, their next step, their worth. They seek certainty before action. But certainty is not a prerequisite for movement. It is a result of movement. The samurai did not wait to feel ready. They trained until readiness was irrelevant. This is why the principle of Ku, emptiness, was not philosophy for them. It was survival. Ku no Sekai, the world without clutter. In Zen and Bushido, Ku does not mean nothingness. It means freedom from unnecessary form. An empty cup can be filled. A full cup spills. The overthinking mind is full. Full of fear disguised as logic. Full of ego disguised as caution. Full of imagination mistaken for wisdom. The samurai emptied the mind so instinct could move without obstruction. When Miyamoto Musashi wrote of no mind, Mushin, he was not suggesting passivity. He was describing a state where action flows without interference. In the Book of Five Rings, Musashi speaks of void not as absence, but as clarity beyond confusion. He warns that those who cling to technique, to rigid plans, to excessive thinking, are already slow. A slow mind dies quickly. Musashi and the discipline of flow. Miyamoto Musashi fought over 60 duels, many to the death. He was often outnumbered. Often underestimated. Often alone. Yet he survived, not because he thought harder than his enemies, but because he thought less at the moment that mattered. Musashi trained relentlessly so he would not need to think during combat. He walked into battle empty. No rehearsed speeches. No imagined outcomes. Only presence. One of his greatest insights was this. When the mind hesitates, the body follows it into failure. So he trained the body until the mind had nothing left to interfere with. This is Ku no Sekai. Not recklessness. Not impulsiveness. But action born from preparation and emptiness. The modern illusion of control. You believe overthinking gives you control. It does not. It gives you the illusion of control while stealing your ability to move. You replay conversations before they happen. You rehearse failures that have not occurred. You analyze paths you never walk. The samurai faced real death. Yet trusted emptiness more than excessive planning. Why? Because reality does not wait for your mental simulations. Flow is not laziness. Flow is alignment. When the river flows, it does not debate the rock. It moves around it. Overthinking is standing on the riverbank arguing with water. Fear, ego, and the mind that won't let go. At the root of overthinking lies fear. At the root of fear lies ego. You are afraid of choosing wrong because you want to be right. You are afraid of acting because you want to protect an image. The samurai trained to release ego before the sword was ever drawn. Because ego tightens the grip. And a tight grip dulls the blade. Zen monks trained the mind through repetition, silence, and discipline, not to escape reality, but to meet it without distortion. A mind cluttered with self is a poor servant. The Ku mind does not ask, what does this say about me? It asks, what must be done? The cold morning training. Imagine a lone warrior at dawn. No audience. No applause. Cold air biting the skin. The body stiff. The mind tempted to complain. He trains anyway. Not because he feels motivated. But because flow comes after discipline, not before. This is where modern minds fail. They wait to feel clear before acting. The samurai acted until clarity arrived. Flow is not a mood. It is a consequence. Overthinking as a modern disease. Overthinking is not intelligence. It is unchanneled energy. When energy has no direction, it turns inward and corrodes the mind. The samurai gave energy direction through ritual, repetition, and simplicity. They woke at the same time. They trained the same forms. They respected the same codes. Structure empties the mind by removing unnecessary choice. Your life is heavy because everything is optional. The samurai life was light because everything was aligned. The principle of action without noise. Kuno Sekai teaches this. Act without internal commentary. When you walk, just walk. When you work, just work. When you rest, truly rest. Fragmentation is the enemy of flow. Musashi warned against fighting with a divided mind. The same applies to living. If part of you is observing, judging, narrating, you are not fully present. Presence is power. Loneliness and the path of emptiness. The path of Ku is quiet, often lonely. Most people prefer noise to stillness because stillness reveals truth. The Ronin, masterless samurai, knew isolation deeply. They had no banners to hide behind. No crowd to validate them. They survived by inner alignment, not external reassurance. Flow does not require approval. Discipline before freedom. Many misunderstand emptiness as freedom without effort. The samurai knew better. Emptiness comes after discipline, not instead of it. The blade must be forged before it can move effortlessly. Your habits are your forge. Your routines your hammer. Without structure, emptiness becomes chaos. With structure, emptiness becomes clarity. The inner code of Ku. Listen carefully. This is not motivation. This is instruction. Rule 1 *, do not argue with the moment. Accept it. Move within it. Rule 2 * prepare deeply, then release control. Planning ends where action begins. Rule 3 * when fear speaks, return to the body. Breath. Posture. Ground. Rule 4 * reduce internal noise. Less commentary. More movement. Rule 5 * choose simplicity over certainty. This is the inner code of Kuno Sekai. Transformation through flow. When you stop overthinking, you do not become careless. You become precise. Your actions sharpen. Your energy consolidates. Your presence deepens. Others feel it without explanation. This is why true warriors were calm, not loud. Focused, not frantic. Flow is quiet power. The blade and the mind. A blade swung with doubt trembles. A blade swung with emptiness cuts clean. Your mind is the same. Every time you hesitate unnecessarily, you dull yourself. Every time you act with presence, you sharpen. Returning to the opening gate. Remember the moment I spoke of at the beginning. The silence before movement? That silence is always available. You do not need a monastery. You do not need isolation. You need willingness to let go. Overthinking is not depth. Flow is depth. The samurai did not seek to understand every outcome. They sought to meet each moment fully. And so must you. The quiet ending. There is nothing more to add. Only something to remove. Remove the excess thought. Remove the imagined futures. Remove the inner noise. Stand where you are. Breathe. Act. Stop overthinking. Start flowing. This is Kuno Sekai. And once you enter it, you do not return to the old way of living. Because emptiness, once understood, is freedom that cannot be unlearned.